Before meeting up with our travel club friends in Acadia National Park, we road tripped our way up from northern Kentucky through New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and coastal Maine. Join us as we drive, eat, sample drinks at local wineries and breweries, and sightsee our way to Acadia National Park. One of our personal quests is our 50 After 50 challenge to visit all 50 states after the age of 50. We'd already visited nearly every state, but not always together, so we decided to start the count over on Sabina's 50th birthday. The qualifier for each state to count is that we have to visit a local winery, distillery, or brewery in every state. On this trip, we knocked out states 17 through 20, starting with the Merritt Winery in Forestville, New York. Merritt Winery is located in the largest grape-growing area east of the Rockies and is the largest Concord grape-growing region in the world. We enjoyed sampling their wines and supporting the local economy by grabbing a couple bottles to enjoy later on the trip.
That's Copper, 6-year-old rescue, with full Great Dane, super sweet.
We also couldn't resist stopping at the Hofbräuhaus in Buffalo. Hofbräuhaus is one of our favorite breweries, and we have visited them in Munich, Pittsburgh, Columbus, and of course our local Newport, Kentucky location. We couldn't pass up this chance in Buffalo as well. We stayed in Burlington, Vermont on the first night and had breakfast at August 1st. As you can see by the line, this place was well known and the food was delicious. After a walking tour of downtown Burlington, we drove the Lake Champlain Scenic Byway and stopped at Two Heroes Brewery to officially count Vermont as our 18th state. The Dankin Farm Store was a fun stop as well, and we loaded up on Vermont specialties such as cheese and maple syrup. The next morning, we drove through Waterbury, Vermont, and couldn't pass up the opportunity to visit the home of Ben & Jerry's ice cream and take the factory tour. It was well worth the visit, and the tour is very well done. And while their ice cream isn't bad by any means, we don't feel it compares with the Grader's ice cream we have back in Cincinnati. The Flavor Graveyard is a fun stop at Ben & Jerry's, where they place a gravestone for every discontinued flavor. A very somber experience for sure. Back in New York, we had made the decision to set our GPS to avoid interstate highways. We were in no hurry as we had a full week to get to Acadia and wanted to take the scenic route. This footage is from the Kancamagus Highway, known as the Kanc to locals. The Kanc is a 34.5-mile scenic byway through the White Mountain National Forest along New Hampshire's Route 112 that is well known as one of the best fall foliage viewing areas in the country. What do you think of this place?
This is gorgeous.
It's not too shabby. What's the name of the highway that we're on the way through New Hampshire? Kancamagus.
Kancamagus.
We were probably about a week or so early for peak viewing season, but the leaves were beginning to change and the scenery was beautiful. We also made a pit stop later that day to Tuckerman Brewery in Tuckerman, New Hampshire to check New Hampshire off as state number 19. The following day, on the border of New Hampshire and Maine, we missed a turn and made an opportunity out of it. We had read some information on the USS Albacore while researching our route, but hadn't made it a priority to get there. The misstep took us right by it, so we decided to stop in, and we were glad we did. In another misstep, I messed up the camera settings for much of this footage, so enjoy this hyperlapse tour of the Albacore. The Albacore was commissioned in 1953 and used primarily to test new technologies that would be tested, revised, and then implemented in newer submarine classes. It was fun and educational, and worth a stop if you pass through the area.
Installing new engines or starting up a long dormant production line to make additional repair plans.
Traveling up the coastline of Maine, we stopped at the Cape Nedick Light, also known as the Nubble Lighthouse. So this is the Nubble Lighthouse?
Yes.
And it was erected in 1879 by the United States Lighthouse Service to protect mariners from Savage Rock. So says that. A can't-miss stop on any Maine coastline road trip is Kennebunkport. This quaint little town had lots of charm with scenic drives and lots of shopping and food choices. It's famous for being the location of Walker's Point, which is the estate owned by the Bush family and was known as the Summer White House during George Sr.'s term. We checked off a couple Maine must-dos in Kennebunkport as we had whoopie pies and Sabine had her first lobster roll of the trip. Unfortunately, I have a shellfish allergy and could not partake.
Oh my goodness. so excited.
Thumbs up, no thumbs
We
up.
took the scenic tour out of Kennebunkport, again passing by the Walker Estate. Continuing on to Booth Bay, Maine, we stopped at Booth Bay Craft Brewery and checked off state number 20 on our 50 after 50 quest. There was a campground right next to the brewery, and we spotted a gorgeous Airstream. While eating dinner, Sabine chatted up the folks next to us and randomly asked if it was their Airstream next door. Turns out it was. They were super nice and invited us over for a drink after dinner. We didn't want to impose or ask to take video, but we did get their contact information and hope to meet up with them again someday, when and if we get our Airstream.
We are now at the Seagull, which is a restaurant that was recommended by a couple we met yesterday at dinner who own an Airstream brew pub in Booth Bay. And now this restaurant that she recommended, they put binoculars out at all the seats so you can look at the ocean on a clear day. Can't really see much today, but there is a lighthouse in the background over Jay's shoulder. We're gonna go see that.
So I'm just at my happy place here. Misty.
The Seagull restaurant was located right next to Pemaquid Point Lighthouse in Bristol, Maine. The lighthouse was commissioned in 1827 by John Quincy Adams. It has a small museum attached, which was somewhat interesting to take in. I wouldn't call this a must-see location, but the restaurant made it worth the stop.
So we don't get to walk up there because it's rainy and they're afraid that we're gonna slip on the steps. We must look old.
Our next destination along the coast was Camden, Maine, where we decided to go on a quick hike.
It's the trailhead at Mount Batty. Is that what it's called, Sabina?
Yes.
Beautiful vistas up here. We're gonna check out some more along the way, but pretty cool place. Okay, you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. It's the rare hike where all the good views start at the top.
When in Camden, we highly recommend a stop at Beth's Farm Market.
Infamous Beth's real farm, real food, real people, real nice market. So what have you found already?
All kinds of goodies.
Got like maple popcorn.
Maple cup. Cheddar cheese. Triple berry jam.
Yum, that was my choice. Apple butter.
Apple butter. And I'm so excited to try this.
Delicious.
Pear and ginger jam.
Can't wait. Cool place.
Beth's is loaded with fresh fruit, vegetables, and locally produced products.
Where did you say it was?
After shopping at Beth's, we headed over to Rockland to hike out to the Rockland Breakwater Lighthouse. This lighthouse was constructed in 1899, and while not our favorite to look at, it was a fun walk across the protected breakwater to get a close-up view of the lighthouse. We even saw a local fisherman pulling up lobster pots, which was interesting to see the process as he was a one-man show.
So not the prettiest lighthouse we'll see in Maine. Might be the ugliest, in fact. But the walk out was pretty cool. So up in the distance is where we were this morning, is at Mount Batty. So what I pointed out to as we're getting ready to walk back.
We finished up this day at Cellar Door Winery near Camden.
Sabine and our happy place. We found a winery. Great views, good wine,
Great company.
great company. Cheers.
We had a good time touring the grounds while sampling one of their excellent white wines.
Oh, you're filming over here? Am I messing you up here? Whoops.
No, dear.
Don't mess with her.
This place was right next to our hotel. It didn't look like much, and we had planned on stopping at another bakery, but we picked up a couple items and a French baguette sandwich for later. The food was amazing and as close to France as you'll get in this side of the pond. We wished we would have bought more and will definitely be back. The Red Barn Marketplace was our real destination, and while it was a cool shop to visit, the bakery inside that we had heard about had been reduced as the baker had partially retired and only had minimal offerings. Still worth a stop, but get your breakfast from the place first. We passed a store with all alpaca products, and I startled Sabine by making an abrupt turn in. I knew she'd have fun there. Finally, we arrived in Bangor, Maine, and found a sports bar to watch the Kentucky football game on one screen and the Nebraska game on a phone on the table. Had to pass by some time before picking up the Joneses and starting phase 2 of this epic trip. Stay tuned for the next video as the No Drama Llamas take on Acadia.